Well, I'm in Bengaluru today as part of my trip, my 5-day trip to India, and I'm delighted to be joined by Shradha Sharma. Thank you, Shradha Sharma. I should introduce Shradha Sharma as the founder of YourStory, and an iconic figure in the India's entrepreneurial ecosystem.
Thank you. I'm very honored to be here and talking to you. Thank
Excellent. And we've been talking about the 5 civic principles, and my first question to you is, if you had to select one, which would it be and for what particular reason?
I would choose clear communication, being transparent, open, responsive and accountable, because to me, most of the things hinge on how transparent, how much are you communicating, be it competence, skill, integrity. You might falter sometimes, you might make mistakes, everything is not perfect in business world, everything is not perfect in your organization. If you're communicating, if you're constantly communicating, being transparent and accountable, it creates a very authentic relationship.
I was going to come on to that word, authentic. And I couldn't agree with you more. So that sense of authenticity is critical to building trust.
Absolutely, especially in today's world where we are getting noise. There's so much of noise and there's so many signals, so much of noise. I need to connect to authenticity.
Thank you. Well, that's in itself a very clear message, which segues, I think, very neatly into my second question. We were talking about the work that our leaders of tomorrow have been doing and the ideas that they have come up with. Is there any particular one of their recommendations that strikes you and resonates with you? And which one and for what particular reason?
I would say empower your frontline staff with the tools to resolve customer client problems. I think empowering, and I would, it's put frontline, but I would say empowering everyone in the organization. Today it's a very decentralized, very equal world, and if you empower everyone in the organization, then the principles that you were talking about, competence and skill, integrity, value to society, it just comes magically from everyone. So there is no one dimensional flow of communication, energy, but everyone is empowered, then a lot of magic, a lot of answers, a lot of things get resolved because, the blockages don't happen.
I couldn't agree with you more. One of the themes coming out of the work that we've been doing through this program has been about the change in, as you describe it, leadership hierarchy and empowering everyone through the organization, demonstrating that everybody has the role of leadership is a critical aspect. That's a very clear message too. Thank you. Can I ask you, the third question I wish to ask you, and you are, as I say, a very important figure in the ecosystem, the entrepreneurial ecosystem. If you had to give your community, those that follow you, one recommendation in terms of restoring, building trustworthiness and developing trust, what would it be?
I'll say 2 things, which I always say. One is that be very, very authentic, real you. We just don't have to pretend what you are online, offline, office, personal. And second thing I would say is it's empathy. Like, empathy to me is the biggest thing which we can have for our own selves and for others. I feel when it comes to our own individual selves, we are increasingly becoming very selfish. We expect a lot of empathy and love because we are increasingly, even in a connected world, getting very, very isolated. But at the same time, it's very difficult for us to be empathetic. And if you are empathetic as a human being, it's very easy to be empathetic, to understand the other person, and most of the problems will not happen. And I think it begins from us being empathetic to our own selves, and that's what I feel.
That is a very clear message. Show empathy, be authentic.
Yeah.
That's a very clear message. Thank you very much. My final question is really just in relation to the guiding principles that we've been discussing and the program, the Business of Trust program more widely. It's a binary question. Can it help restore, the guiding principles in this program help restore trust?
Absolutely. Because right now the trust is at an all-time low. With so many incidents and I come from the startup and entrepreneurial world, that look at the data from everything that is happening today. The trust is at an all-time low, and we feel it in our interactions everywhere. I would say these principles are very, to me, these principles are very thought through, and I feel they're real. And if implemented and if at least promoted well, I think this is going to work. This has to work, and we have to make it work. You have to make it work.
We have to break it work. Shradha Sharma, thank you so much for engaging with the business of trust. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you so much.